Hi and welcome to another video from Essential Lightroom. We've recently released a new preset toolkit for Lightroom, and that's the Brown Aqua toolkit. Now, this is a great preset pack that gives you a ton of control with thousands of combinations to get great looking cinematic effects. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can recreate one of those effects from scratch. So I'm going to take you step by step through the entire process of taking your image from something like this to something like this. So stick around and I'm going to take you through the entire process so you can make these just for yourself. So our new preset pack focuses on dealing with the Brown Aqua effect. Now this is very similar to the teal and orange effect. It's a very cinematic style, works really well where you've got nice skies, where you've got greenery in there, skin tones and so on. It really enhances all those lovely colours. Also fantastic for sunsets. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how you can recreate the Mega Punchy preset. So it'll take your image from this to something like this. As you can see, lots of nice color alterations. So let's take a look at how we can do all of that. Okay, now the bulk of this preset, the bulk of this effect is all done through the camera calibration settings. In much the same way as you can work with the teal and orange effect, we're going to adjust some of those primary color information. Then we're going to go through and tweak it to get the effect that we're looking for. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down to the green primary, and we're going to shift the greens from being green and move them over to the sort of yellow kind of tones. That's going to introduce a little bit of brownness into it. So if we grab this and drag it over, we're going to take this to about a -50, somewhere along those kind of lines, somewhere around there. And if we before and after, you can see we start to bring some warmth into the grass and the greenery in the background. So there's the basis. Next thing we're going to do is adjust the blue primary, and what this is going to do is it's going to shift our blue colors in the sky and anywhere else is blue and take them more towards the sort of teal kind of color, the orangey teal kind of colors. So drag that over right the way up to the left hand side to -100. There's the basics of our effect, and as you can see the skin tones are starting to get very warm, little unnatural, so we're going to deal with that next. We're going to come over to the hue for the red primary. We're going to push that over just a little bit towards the oranges. So about +10 should be more than enough. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to desaturate those colors right the way down to -100. So you can see that helps to desaturate the skin tones a little. So we now no longer have those sort of on fire skin tones. There's the basics of this process. Next we're going to move on to start tweaking some of the other options inside the image itself. So next up, we're going to move over into the color tab. This is where we're going to start to deal with making sure we can balance exactly how we want the reds to appear in the image itself. So we're going to select the red tones, and in there, we're going to push the hue over towards the orange again. Take this to about +40. Next up, we're going to grab the saturation, and we're going to really give that a kick right the way up to +100. Next, we're going to jump over to the aqua section. So we're just going to choose aqua. And from there we're going to do a subtle adjustment. We're going to grab the hue and we're going to move this over towards the green side. Only by about -20, somewhere in that kind of region. That's going to adjust the sky and get that to the colour that we want within the aqua tones. So if we take a look at before and we take a look at after, it's quite subtle but it all adds up. And when we start to increase the colour and the saturation in this, you'll see that it balances things out quite nicely. So for the next stage, we've come into the basics panel, and from there we're going to grab the vibrance slider and we're going to push that right the way up to +100, all the way up to give it some serious punch in there. So as you can see, because we've adjusted and toned down the skin tones, once we give that vibrance a good kick up, which sort of takes the warmer tones in the image and really helps to saturate those, it balances out the skin tone. So we now get a warm, natural kind of brown tone to the skin, which is nicely kicked up to balance off against the vibrancy in the background with the greens, the browns and the aqua colors. So we've got one more thing to do, and this is purely to taste, but this is what we sort of did to get you to the point of this particular preset. And for this step, we're going to jump over to the tone curve. So we're going to open that up. We're just working on the RGB channel, so we're just dealing with the tonal information. We're not looking to affect the colors. Making sure we're in point curve mode, so if you're not, just simply click on the little icon in the right hand side, switch between both modes. Now we can directly influence the tone curve. So we're going to add a couple of extra points in there at each of the intersecting sections. And what we're going to do is we're simply going to grab the midpoint, which is your midtones in the image. We're going to pull those down just to sort of darken the midtones off and balance that up, so we're going to get a nice smooth curve on the highlights and the shadows. So we kind of get a nice smooth curve in there. And finally, we're going to come in and we're going to crush the blacks a little. So we're going to grab the black point at the bottom left-hand corner. We're going to lift that up to around about there, and that's going to help crush those blacks down. So in other words, the blacks are no longer going to be a black. They're going to take on a very dark charcoal kind of grey. So let's take a look at before we did the tone curve. You can see it looks a little bit washed out now when you compare it. And we apply the tone curve. That flattens the image down, crushes those blacks, gives us a bit of mid-tone boost, and gives us a really nice end result. And there we go. That's how you can recreate the Mega Punchy preset that's available as part of the Brown Aqua Toolkit we've just released. If you'd like to purchase or find out more information about the Brown Aqua Toolkit, the link is in the description below. If you purchase it, your support is much appreciated, and it helps us develop more presets, including free ones that are available, as well as lots more content for you to get you up to speed and learning how to create great looking images using Lightroom. Well, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of the new content we add. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback on this video, or anything else we cover on the channel, or any of our presets, please pop those in the comment section below. We read everything you post and try to answer as many questions and queries as possible. And until next time, take care.